Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the way to 10,800 subscribers. In fact, we are very, very close to it. And I'm kicking off on my own channel in the background. If you could click like as well, that would be fantastic. Junior Film, straight off the bat, has joined the membership club. How are you? Do you think we win the league next season? I do think we win the league next season. Why not? Positive mental attitude. Junior Films, big supporter. Thank you very, very much for joining the membership club. I hope you're all doing well. It's a Saturday evening. The UCL final is an hour and a half away. And a reminder, we will be live on TIFO. The link to that's in the description. Brand new streaming platform for football watch-alongs. Free to join. Just use the code Rory when you sign up. We will be live for the watch-along after this. But there is loads to get into today. A surprising amount considering it's a Saturday. But we've got updates on Jakub Kiwior, on Benjamin Sesko, Youssouf Fofana, Smith Rowe. There's quite a lot to talk about, so we will be getting into it. But there are loads of you already here, which I do appreciate. Sportcat, Icarus, Smort, Jackson, Emilio, Gabe, VV Vlad, Heyo, Resh, Ethan Udal, Max, Benjamin, Tentego, Lucas, Mr. Nimbus, Sutton Explorer. Thanks for the content, much appreciated. You are quite welcome. Thank you for turning up. Adam, Hannah, King Kai, Wilsey, Pekka, and many, many more. It is good to see you all. But look, let's get into it. The first one is about Jakub Kiwior. This is coming from Santi Ayuna. Now, to be honest, on the ranking of sources, he is what I would consider salad cream. Not enjoyable. It's not a good source. But he does get some things right. And he's leading with this story. So, look, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, he says AC Milan have made Jakub Kiwior their priority signing for this summer. Milan were unsuccessful in attempts to sign the player last January, but they are determined to return to the charge in the coming weeks. So, Jakub Kiwior, number one target for AC Milan. Look, I've been saying, I think one of Kiwior and Tomiyasu leave this summer. And if AC Milan come in with a decent bid for Jakub Kiwior, I would not be surprised at all to see him go. Look, it annoys some people when I say that. And look, this is... I don't dislike Kiwior in any way, shape, or form. I'm a massive fan of Kiwior. I was very, very excited with the way that he stepped up. But there is a reality. And the reality is the squad doesn't have space, in my opinion, for both Tomiyasu and Jakub Kiwior, especially if we want to bring in another player, whether that's a Hancko or someone else. So, you can like players. And I do think we're at this point in time now where to level up, you're going to be losing players that are good. We're not at the point anymore where you're losing Cedrics and, whoever else. The squad, especially after this summer, when the likes of Eddie, probably Reece, obviously Cedric, El Neni, we're going to be at the point where any summer or any transfer window, if we make a sale, it's going to be a good player. Like, that's just the reality. And people say, Kiwior's so versatile. He is. But there are other defenders out there that are also versatile, that might be more suited to the way that we want to play, that might just be better than Jakub Kiwior. So it's never a slight or a dig at Kiwior or Tomiyasu or whoever else when I say that I think they might go. And I do think that by the end of next summer, I think probably Tomiyasu and Kiwior are both gone, which is my opinion. But anyway, that's the kind of link that we've got. AC Milan coming back in, and we'll see how it goes. But Kiwior isn't that guy. Hancko is. Maybe. I think Hancko's got a much higher ceiling. I do think he's got a much higher ceiling. But he still has to reach that ceiling. Kiwior is dependable, though, never gets injured. I know, but again, is that enough? Being versatile and dependable is great, but at some point, can you level up? And if the answer is yes, then I think you go and do it. How many possible centre-backs do we have? That's what I think about the most. At the moment, I think we have the right amount. Well, the thing is, you've got White and Timber can both play centre-back. Saliba, Gabriel are our two centre-backs. Kiwior and Tomiyasu can both play centre-back. as it stands, if you get rid of Zinchenko, every defender we have can and in some ways is a centre back. So we've got plenty of them. People already smashing the like button. Love to see it. Keep it going, chat. Let's break a stream record. Yeah, if you can like the stream, it does. I mean, literally yesterday's stream, the day before yesterday was a record-breaking stream, and then yesterday was a record-breaking stream. It's crazy. And it is massively thanks to you on the lives, the people that are watching right here, right now, clicking that like button. So I do massively appreciate it. Rather a 6 out of 10 that's available than an 8 out of 10 that plays 10 games a season. Yeah, but we're not talking about bringing someone in that plays 10 games a season, though. Unless you're talking about maybe losing Tomiyasu ahead of losing Kiwior, which is potentially an option. But we're talking about upgrading from Kiwior. And if Hancko is that guy, then that's exciting, you know? What's your score prediction for tonight? 2-1 to Real Madrid. I think it'll be a close game. I think Real Madrid will win it because it's Real Madrid. I do think they'll win it, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for the game. I'm really excited for the game. Like I said, we'll be live on Tifo for that. The next bit of news, this is coming from Pletagol, obviously, is an interesting source because he does the bidding, in my opinion, of Bayern Munich a lot. He's kind of a bit like what Fabrizio Romano is to Chelsea in terms of the way that he does bidding for Bayern Munich, but generally in the Bundesliga, he is pretty good. He said Arsenal are pushing to sign Benjamin Sesko, but we've been told there is no final decision yet. Many clubs are keen on Sesko. The 21-year-old top striker is also on the list of Manchester United. Interest concrete as MUFC have inquired about Sesko. Chelsea are also monitoring him. His release clause until the end of June is 65 million euros, which is about 55 million pounds. We knew that already. Leipzig bosses themselves would love him to stay. Leipzig have offered him a new deal, but are fairly resigned to the fact that he is probably going to go. Open race, all parties involved, and this is the crucial bit in my opinion, all parties involved want a decision before the Euros. And so that's why I said in the title, before the Euros. Now, he won't be able to make the transfer before the Euros because the transfer window opens on the 14th of June, which is when the opening game of the Euros is. It, however, could all be in place, or at least the decision of which club he's going to go to could be in place. So we could reach the Euros, and this would be really exciting. We could reach the Euros knowing that Sesko is going to be an Arsenal player. And then you get to watch him in the Euros, even playing against England. So that would be exciting. But I do think it's good. I do think it's good to get that out of the way before the Euros, especially because, by the way, if he has a really, really good tournament, the battle to get him will become even harder. So if we do really want him, he's not my number one, but if we do really want him, and he is the guy that Arteta wants, wrap it up before the Euro starts. Unless, I guess it could go the other way, though. You wrap it up before the Euro starts, and then he does his ACL at the Euros. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Doesn't Sesko's release clause also expire on the 30th of June? Yes, according to Pletagol. I think it said it here, right? Yeah. Release clause until the end of June, 65 million euros. Ben Jacobs backed that story up. Pretty much confirmed everything that Pletagol said. Ben Jacobs is reliable as well. He backed that up and then he said, along with Sesko, Arsenal have also looked at Joshua Zirkzee, Evan Ferguson, and Victor Gyökeres. Understand there's been no approach yet for Victor Osimhen, despite reports. Napoli are still insisting on the full release clause being paid. So Napoli still want £113 million, which is way too much. Way too much, in my opinion. Zirkzee, by the way, Zirkzee very may well end up back at Bayern Munich. He was at Bayern Munich. They sold him, but they've got a buyback clause, which is cheaper than Zirkzee will go for on the market. And apparently, Vincent Kompany is quite interested in him. So, yeah, Zirkzee might be one that just ends up not being a possibility if Bayern trigger the buyback clause that they've got for him. So, Evan Ferguson, still don't really understand that. I still don't really understand the Evan Ferguson. Look, he's still very young, still incredibly raw, had an up and down season for sure. The issue is last summer Brighton wanted 100 million for him, which is obscene. So there's nowhere near, he's never worth that now. But almost there, 100 likes within 10 minutes would be amazing. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you hit 100 likes within 10 minutes, just sensational. Sensational. If we have so many versatile defenders, do we really need a new one? Just curious, might have missed something massive. I think that's just an Arteta thing. I think that's just an Arteta thing that he wants defenders to be versatile. The thing is, right, if you have 6 defenders, if your sort of pot of defenders proper, we play with 4 defenders and then 2 on the bench, right? So unless you want one that's, if everyone's fully fit, isn't going to be in the matchday squad, which for me should only ever be a youth player, then you've got 6 defenders. 3 of them are out, you're in trouble. Even if 2 of them are out, you're in trouble if they're in the same position. So I think the versatility is an important factor. I think you've seen how well that works at Man City. Whether it's Gvardiol, Ake, Akanji, Stones, they can all play kind of anywhere across the back 4 if they really need to. So I do think it's important. I would have it. My ideal is to have 6 defenders that pretty much can all play at centre-back if they need to, right? So you go, this, for example, would be the dream. White and Timber, who can both play as either the right back or the right centre-back. Timber could play as the left back as well if he needs to. So White, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel as the 2 centre-backs, Diamande as a central centre-back that could probably play either Saliba or Gabriel's role, and Hancko, who can play left back, left centre-back. That 6 has you completely covered, in my opinion. You're at least 2 deep in every position across the back line between 6 players. I'd then have 1 additional player that is a kind of wing back that could actually operate as a winger if you really needed it, but could also come in and fill in at fullback if you needed it as well. That could be Rory, Kadioglu. On the other side, you'd be looking at like a Frimpong, but I don't think we'd go for a right-sided player. But long term, I see that being the thing. Now, that would mean losing Zinchenko, Kiwior, and Tomiyasu. But that, for me, if I'm looking by the end of next summer, look, Diamande, it doesn't have to be Diamande. Hancko, it doesn't have to be Hancko. It could be Calafiori. It could be whoever, right? But that's kind of how I see the squad lining up by the end of next summer. There's some work to do. What do you think of Hancko as our left back, left centre back? Can you bring up his stats? I really like his profile, suits us perfectly. Do you know what? As you are so nicely, I can bring it up. Sutton Explorer, thank you very, very much for becoming the latest member of the Rory Talks Football community. That is greatly appreciated. No message with it, but just some support. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, I can bring up Hancko, though. I can bring up Hancko. Great team of the season card on FIFA. Again, if that floats your boat. David Hancko. 26 years old, left-footed, centre-back, left-back. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Jesus Christ. That is a madness. This is concerning. What does he actually play that position? What on earth position does he actually play in game? Because surely his role can't be to act as a normal centre-back, because that's bonkers. That's bonkers. What the hell? He averages nearly 2 shots a game as a centre-back. I mean, surely he's playing something else. Pass accuracy is nearly 90%. Nearly 70. He must be playing as a midfielder. Or a... What the hell is he... What the hell is he playing at? His pass accuracy is insane. He has a ridiculous number of volume of passes per game at that pass accuracy. Dribbles with the ball. Over 100 touches a game. Possession won in the final third. Recoveries. It's only really this that's a problem, but even that's not that bad, really. I don't know. I need to go and watch him play. Underlapping centre-back in a Bielsa-like system? I guess so, yeah. I guess so. I need to go and watch him play. I need to go and watch him play because that makes me horny. If you know what I look at, that is sensational. How tall is he? What's 188 centimeters? What's that like? 6'2"? 6'2", 6'3"? Crazy. Yeah, that could be an option. That could be an option. Outside of everything else that he does, the fact that to take as many touches as he does a game, to be that comfortable on the ball, to have the pass accuracy he's got as a defender, yeah. Colour me interested. 6'2". Yeah, that's not that tall. But if you compare it to like a Timber or a Hatto's like under 6 foot, I think. Crazy. And 26 years old as well. Crazy. There you go. Nearly as good as Amiti Cabernet. Good player. Good player, Amiti Cabernet. Not sure we can get him. If you get that reference, you get that reference. If you don't, search it on Twitter. It's the funniest minute you'll ever see. Absolutely unbelievable. He's left-footed. More like a Ramos at Sevilla. Yeah, crazy. Do you reckon Havertz will be our starting striker next season? I reckon we're going to get a second striker, young and big potential. Yeah, I think we start next season with Havertz as the central striker, as the starting striker. But by the way, I think no matter who we sign, we start next season with Havertz as striker. I've said this before. Even if we went out and got a Gyökeres who I want, even if we blew it and went and got Osimhen, I still think we'd start next season with Havertz starting at striker. And we'll whoever it is that comes in will be given time to settle in. Because we don't need to rush it. We saw what we're capable of with Havertz as a striker at the end of this season. The more important player is going to be the midfielder, because I do think we probably need to start next year. If we sell Partey, I do think we probably need to start next season starting the new midfielder. So that's more of an important one. But how come you're not wearing a football top today? I don't know. I don't know actually. I went out earlier and I wore this and I didn't change it. My bad. I wish I had a Dortmund top to wear for tonight, to be honest. Kiwior and Zinchenko could allow space for Hancko and Karagioglu. Yeah, well, I actually think you only bring in one. If you think about it, we've already got too many defenders. Once Timber comes back, considering we normally play with 2 defenders on the bench, we're already at the point where you'd either have 3 defenders on the bench or one of them wouldn't be in the squad. If you assumed that, for example, the back 4 was White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, that leaves you Tomiyasu, Kiwior, and Zinchenko. One of them doesn't reach the bench. So before we've even bought any new defenders, at least one of them has to be sold, in my opinion, because all of them have a value that is too high to be considered a player that's not even in the squad when everyone's fully fit. Do you think Zinchenko can play in the midfield at 8, Rice at 6, only worried about his physicality? I think he can do it. I mean, he does do it. He does it for Ukraine. I just don't think Arteta has any interest in him doing it for Arsenal. We would already have seen it. If Zinchenko was capable of playing that role the way that Arteta wants him to, I think we'd already have seen it, and we haven't, which just makes me think he won't be. And there's various reports saying that Vincent Kompany wants Zinchenko as his first signing at Bayern. So happy days. If we can get that job done, happy days. Have you watched the Mika Bierith documentary Arsenal recently released? It's definitely worth a watch. Extremely well produced and really interesting. Looks like an excellent striker. I've not watched it yet. I do need to go and watch that. Bierith's going to be an interesting one. What we do with Bierith this summer, I think, is important in terms of looking at how we move forward with academy players. It's important that we start getting this sort of thing right. And that is, we make a decision early. Either this guy is going to be in our squad at some point, or he's not. And we should know that already, and we should plan for that accordingly. And if he's not, you send him out on loan to a championship club, and then you sell him next summer. Swap deal, Alphonso Davies. Well, Alphonso Davies is an interesting one because he's got... it all seemed like he was going to go to Real Madrid, but there was something that came out today saying that Bayern Munich are now hopeful that they might be able to extend Alphonso Davies' deal. If they do extend Alphonso Davies' deal, I don't know why they would also bring in Zinchenko, but We'll see. We'll see. Thoughts on Tosin going to Chelsea? It's, it's a free transfer. It's a bit of depth for them. Ultimately, it is a 26, 27 Fulham defender leaving on a free. There wasn't a huge, United were interested. I think Newcastle were leading the race. Yeah, it's depth and it's free. That's basically it for them. And by the way, they've broken their under 25 policy in order to do it. So interesting. Evening, Boardsy. Good to see you. No worries. You're welcome. Bayern still have Mazraoui. Yeah, but Mazraoui's a right back, really. Really, Mazraoui's a right back. Anyway, there's more news to get into, by the way. We went off on a tangent, but there is more news. Graham Bailey and all that. Graham Bailey's not my favourite source, to be honest. Arsenal are looking at Monaco midfielder Youssouf Fofana, who they have kept tabs on for over 2 years. One of Arsenal's main focuses this summer is finding a new central midfielder. Monaco are open to the sale, which was admitted by their CEO, Thiago Scura. Again, we'll actually bring up Youssouf Fofana. It's an interesting one. I'd be concerned if this was the only central midfielder that we bought this summer. This is decent. We've seen this before. Look, he's 25 years old, right-footed, can play as a 6 or an 8. That's nice. You come down here. Look, he's a decent player. He is a decent player. Decent goal scorer for a central midfielder. Creatively, not too bad. Pass accuracy for a central midfielder is at the low end of where I'd want it to be. Dribbles with the ball fine, no problem. Defensively, it's average. It's all right. Watching him play, I do feel like he looks better than this suggests in the limited minutes that I've seen him play. Winning the ball back in the final third is obviously useful. Recoveries is decent. So ultimately, I think he's a good midfielder. I do think in a better team, you could maybe see more out of him. I know there are lots of teams interested in him, which is usually a good sign. I just don't think he's number one long-term Declan Rice partner. I've said before, I think to complement Declan Rice and to really maximize the value of 105 million that we spent on Declan Rice, you've got to partner him with someone of maybe not equal level, because it's incredibly hard to find someone of equal level to Declan Rice, but close to it. For me, Fofana would be someone that you brought in, and this is where it comes to raising the floor of the squad. Fofana would maybe take up the Jorginho slot in the squad once Jorginho has left next summer. But if you bring him in this summer, you give him a year to prepare to do that. That's the kind of role that I would see a Fofana playing, not the only midfielder that we go out and buy this summer. But we'll see. We'll see. I would not be annoyed about that signing whatsoever. But we are definitely not the only team in the race for it. I feel like he comes across as more of a value signing. There's rumors he could be in the 20 million range, which would be kind of wild. Fofana, Sesko, and Bakayoko seems good so far. I'd take them. Oh, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, Bakayoko, I'm on that train at this point. Emilio, thank you for becoming a member. That is the third member that has joined the membership today. Unbelievable support. Long-term viewer is Emilio, and I do appreciate that greatly. Have you seen Zubamendi fully rejected us? Yeah, he did. Zubamendi fully rejected us. Doesn't want to leave Spain. Simple as that. It's not there's nothing else to it. He doesn't want to leave Spain. I think that's interesting. I do think that's interesting. It's up to him, right? There are lots of English players that never want to leave England. So you can't really complain. You can't really complain. 1 month renewal. It's a 1 month renewal. Sorry, I don't know how these things work. Does that mean it's now another month? Even better. Sensational. So I'm so hopeless when it comes to all of these things, but I appreciate it. Yesterday's stream put too much coal in the Bakayoko train. It did. Honestly, Bakayoko could be the one. I've been struggling to land on that kind of Saka backup competition, and it could be him. I don't even know what I've done. Well, you've supported me. That's the main thing. You've supported me. What would we do with Martinelli if he has a similar season next year to what he had last season? I think we'd be looking at. I think we'd be looking at his future. I think we'd be looking at his future. If he ultimately, the reality again is this, and this is the same with Kiwior and Tomiyasu. If Martinelli had the same season next season he had this season, you'd be looking at a position that could be upgraded. It's that simple. Grandpa Rory strikes again. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh God. Carter has become a member for 1 month. I think this is what we've done. Carter, welcome and thank you. Congratulations on beating Apple again. You are flying. I appreciate it though. Another member for 1 month. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Carter, thank you very much. The midfielder we bring in needs to be a gem. I seriously think we might spend a decent amount in that department. Well, it has to be one or the other, in my opinion, right? If we're saying we're not going big on the striker and it's going to be a Sesko or whoever else, then surely we're going big on the midfielder. Unless it really is going to be a case of making like 5 different £50 million signings. You know, making a decent, solid signing 5 times. But I feel like one of them can afford to be a big one. I do feel like one of them can afford to be a big one. Xavi Simons or Coop Miners, and I'm blasting to the moon. Yeah, I mean, both of them. I mean, like I've spoken about Simons before. I'd be very happy with it. I'll bring up the lineups when they're out. To be fair, Real Madrid's lineup's been out for about 2 hours. Real Madrid, I have to say this, they have got a set of bollocks on them. Every single time Real Madrid play, you know how everyone else, even if our team news gets leaked like 10 minutes before the hour before kickoff, when it normally comes out 10 minutes before, and people are like, oh, the leaks, the opposition are going to know what we're doing. We've given them an extra 10 minutes to prepare. Real Madrid come out 3 hours before kickoff and just go, here's the team. Here's the team. What the fuck are you going to do about it? There you go. I rate it. Wilsey has become a member for 2 months. Go on then. I'll have another month as well. Wilsey, absolute legend. Thank you very much. Long-term supporter of the channel as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lunin was dropped. Yeah, Lunin was dropped. We'll bring them up in a second. Other bits of news. There is even more. This is coming from Purple Panel. I don't know who Purple Panel is. They've got like, I don't know, they've got like 30,000 followers on Twitter. I genuinely, it's the first time I've seen them as a source. But according to them, Aston Villa are plotting a move for Emil Smith-Rowe. That wouldn't surprise me at all. It's not the first time that Smith-Rowe has been linked to Aston Villa. We know that Unai Emery is a big fan of Emil Smith-Rowe. It would be a great signing for them. It would be a great signing for them. So that could potentially be something that happens. I'd be looking at Douglas Luiz coming the other way if that does happen, because Villa don't have that much money to spend. Villa's FFP issues are a thing. So if they were to get Smith-Rowe, I would be looking at Douglas Luiz coming the other way. And then Football Italia, also talking about Emil Smith-Rowe, said Napoli are keeping close tabs on Emil Smith-Rowe as Arsenal weigh up a possible summer move for Victor Osimhen. So that's coming from Football Italia. I mean, that would be, of all of the deals that I could see happening, some sort of deal involving Smith-Rowe going to Napoli and Osimhen coming the other way would seem unusual and unlikely. But that is coming from Football Italia. No worries, Carter. Enjoy the curry. I will see you at 7:30 over on Tifo. Douglas Luiz or Bruno G? I think I'd just about shade at Bruno G at this point, mainly because that's who Man City want, and I think he would be a massive signing for them. But either of them, I'd be pretty happy with, to be honest. And then finally, the only other thing I had to really say, and this isn't news, but I think it's interesting and it fuels my agenda. Squawker, another stat from Squawker, right? 2 players in the entirety of Europe's top 7 leagues, 2 players, 1 possession in the final third, 40 or more times last season. So winning possession in the final third, key to a great press. 2 players in the entirety of Europe's top 7 leagues did it 40 times or more. Second place, doing it 41 times, Martin Ødegaard. First, doing it 43 times, Victor Gyökeres. It's another thing that he wins in. But genuinely, even if you, outside of his goal scoring, which is unbelievable, outside of his playmaking, his assist making, his channel running. He's also the best presser in the top 7 leagues in Europe. Second, Martin Ødegaard. I mean, just give him to me. Give him to me. Yeah, there's no news for that. I just thought that was a stat worth mentioning. So there you go. There you go. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a goosey gander at the lineups for the final. So Dortmund, Kobel, Ryerson, Hummels, Schlotterbeck, Martsen, Emre Can Sabitzer, Adeyemi, Brandt, Sancho, Füllkrug. I believe that is basically the exact same team that we saw from them in the semis. And then Real Madrid, Courtois in goal. Brutal for Lunin, who had been in goal for them throughout the knockout stages. Carvajal at right back, Rudiger, Fernandes, Ferland Mendy, Valverde, Camavinga, Toni Kroos, Bellingham, Rodrigo, and Vinicius Jr. Apparently, Vinicius Jr. been dealing with a fever for the last couple of days, so that'll be an interesting one to see how he gets on. But yeah, I would do unspeakable things for Gyökeres. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We would make teams suffer with that pressing ability. We would. No Royce starting because they want him ready to score the 90-plus. The dream, genuinely, the dream scenario tonight would be Royce comes on as a sub and scores the winner. Like, there is no better option. Who's partnering Hummels at centre-back? Schlotterbeck. What a name. I would like us to sign him just so I can say his name more often. I really enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Look, anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, so get your fingers on your keyboards because we're starting now. Clue number 1, and we are back to the clues for this one. I'm going to switch it up, though. Anyway, clue number 1, 35 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 35 years old. Clue number 2, they've won both the UEFA Conference League and the Europa League. They have won both the UEFA Conference League and the Europa League. Clue number 3, they scored 9 goals in 59 games for Arsenal. Clue number 3, they scored 9 goals in 59 games for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they won Serie A this season. Clue number 4, they won Serie A this season. And clue number 5, they joined Arsenal from Manchester United in January 2018. Clue number 5, they joined Arsenal from Manchester United in January 2018. I think that was quite a fun one. I think the clues for that were actually quite fun. Anyway, I need to go and see who won. Lots of you were going for Olivier Giroud, but it's not Olivier Giroud. So there you go. Right, here we go. We're back at the top. Are we back at the top? I think we're back at the top. We're back at the top. Right. Bum bum bana bum bum bana bum bum bana do 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 do. I'm gonna. I hope there's people going back to VAR check me here because there's a lot of names. I hope there are some people VAR checking this. There we go. The winner is a Raccoon Whisperer. It is Henrik Mkhitaryan, and a Raccoon Whisperer has won it. I think that's the first time Raccoon Whisperer has won. What a name. Jakob was second. Osama was third. Drax was fourth. And Sportcat was fifth. There you go. Congratulations. Congratulations to Raccoon Whisperer. Make sure there's a VAR check in there. But I do believe Raccoon Whisperer is the winner. Mkhitaryan, surely one of the most frustrating players of his era. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I would say so. There you go. Congratulations to Raccoon Whisperer. And now we've got Guess the Non-Gooner. Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who... There you go. Wilsey, VAR, check complete. Goal given. Congratulations, Raccoon Whisperer. I'm going to give you the full career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Raccoon Whisperer currently has. This player started their career at the Manchester City Reserves. They started their career in the Manchester City Reserves. They went on loan to Mainz. They went on loan to Mainz. They then went on a free transfer to Mainz. They then went to Liverpool. They went on loan to Besiktas. They went on loan to Union Berlin. They were then without a club, and then they joined Newcastle United. So Man City reserves, Mainz on loan, Mainz permanently, Liverpool, Besiktas on loan, Union Berlin on loan, Newcastle United. Who is the player? I love how every time it's Man City Academy, everyone goes Sancho. It's mainly Sancho. It is funny. It is funny. Who was the first person to get it, though? Who was first? He's done it again. He's done it again. He has done it again. It's Sportcat. It's Loris Karius. And Sportcat's got it. He's the king of Guess the Non-Gooner at this point. It genuinely is the king of Guess the Non-Gooner at this point. Sportcat, congratulations. It was Karius. Second was Kulakani was second. Drakkar was third. Ethan Udall was fourth. And Jermaine was fifth. So there you go. Congratulations, Sportcat. He's done it again. Makes sense doing him for a UCL final. Never forget his shocker against Madrid. I think that's why I thought of him, to be honest. There you go. There you go. 1 week away from my last win, but I'm back. There you go. He's returned. He has returned. Fair play to him. Knew it was a UCL final legend. It had to be. It had to be. It had to be something to do with the Champions League final. Which, to be fair, is probably why a lot of you were going for Jadon Sancho. That does make sense. Kulakani wants VAR. You were second. I promise you on my screen you are second. If on your screen you're first, it's because of internet. I promise you. Did you see the clip of pundits absolutely glazing Jude for how calm he is at 19 before a UCL final when he was just warming up? I did see that. Yeah. I mean, look, he's young. He's English. The English media are going to they're going to praise him. Karius played for City. Yeah, he was in the City Academy. He started in the Stuttgart Academy and then joined the City Academy at under 18. One day it will be Pedro Porro and I'll win. See, it's not going to be Pedro Porro for ages now because you've said it. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Jude is class, but he gets glazed on a lot. Yeah, but again, someone that age, that ability, it's just always going to happen. I've decided the window is Sesko, Bakayoko, Bruno G, and Hato. I'll get my hopes up and we'll be disappointed. Do you know what? That's not a bad window. That's not a bad window. How much would it set you back, though? Realistically, 55 million for Sesko. I reckon 50 million for Bakayoko. So that's 105. Bruno G, you might end up looking at 100 million. That's 205. Hato, 45. You could do it for 250. We've probably got to buy a keeper as well, which might make things a bit trickier, but yeah. No bias. Jamal is better than Jude. I'm a huge fan of Musiala. I do think Jude Bellingham is better. I think at certain things, Musiala is better, right? Dribbling with the ball, Musiala is unbelievable. He's got an unbelievable pass on him. I just do think all round, Jude is slightly better. It's incredibly close. It's incredibly close. So close to 200 likes. Let's go. Come on. Hit 200 likes before the end. Come on. According to Mail Sport, we've inquired about Barcelona defender. I don't know if I'm getting caught out here. I don't think Ethan, you're the type that would do it. But for some reason, anytime I see a name that I'm unfamiliar with, but I'm trying to think what sort of bait name that could be. What sort of bait name that could be? Is that a bait name? It's a real player, good on Football Manager. It is real. Okay, it's real. It's real. It's not another Amite Cabernet. It is real. I know nothing about him. I could not tell you. Will you still do streams at 6:30 in the Euros when there will still be matches going on? We might. That's a great point. That's a great point. We might change the time. We might change the time of the streams during the Euros. We might change the time. They might start at 7. When are the games are on at 2, 5, and 8, aren't they? We might start the streams at 7 once the Euro starts, and hopefully that works for everybody. Start them at 7, end them at 7:45, and then that's just in time for whatever the 8 o'clock kickoff is. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. That's probably what we'll do. Must say, the pronunciation of my name was spot on first try. I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Arsenal related, I think we might be missing a trick if we sell ESR, especially after the limited game time he was given this season. True. I think with Smith Rowe, it literally comes down to what we do with Fabio Vieira. I genuinely think one of them stays, one of them goes. And I guess whichever the better option, whatever the better bid comes in, the better value bid comes in, we probably go with that one. It's highly annoying that players like Bakayoko and Sesko will play at the Euros and potentially inflate their price before we are able to buy. It is, but the game's the game. The game's the game. Why do you only do 45-minute streams? You could stream more. I'm a busy man. Look, one day when this is my full-time job, we can dream, then I can do longer streams. But as it is, I am a very time-limited man. And 45 minutes to an hour is about the most I can do. Fabio Vieira loan to a Brighton or at that level. He doesn't go out on loan. They have to be sold. They have to be sold. I think they signed Sesko. I think if they sign Sesko, they should sign Bruno G as well. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, if we sign Sesko, the midfielder has to be a big signing. Whether that's Bruno G, whether that's Douglas Luiz, whether that's João Neves, whether that's Frankie de Jong. There's a long list of midfielders it could be. But I think it would have to be, that. What's my job? It's just more social media. It's just doing it for people that pay money for it. So, yeah, it's pretty standard. Pretty standard. Also TikTok. That's not my job either, but it's where I make not more money. I make money off TikTok. That's no secret. So again, I have to put time into the old TikTok as well. And Instagram. I'm pissing around doing challenges for Instagram. There's lots going on. There is lots going on. Did I have a cinema night last night? No. Again, there was nothing new on at the cinema. What we have started doing, though, is rewatching all of the Bad Boys films because the new Bad Boys comes out next week. So, yeah, decided it would be a good time to watch Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, and Bad Boys for Life. Is it Bad Boys for Life? Is that the third one? I think so. So there you go. Rory's secretly a drug dealer. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine me? Out on the streets trying to sell drugs? Sir, would you like some marijuana? Could I interest you? No, I don't think it would work for me. Look, anyway, before it descends any further, that is going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to be live again in 15 minutes over on Tifo. So the link down in the description will take you to Tifo. If you're new, code Rory, RORY, full caps, when you sign up. It's a free platform, brand new. It's for football watch-alongs. It is the future of football watch-alongs, so I'm looking forward to that. But look, have a fantastic evening. If you don't come and join the stream, enjoy the final. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, on here at 6:30. I'll be live again even later tonight. After that, 10:30 over on Twitch as well for some FIFA. But yeah, have a fantastic evening. Massive thank you for joining the stream. If you can like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you later. Goodbye.